Hello everybody, Bloody Butterfly here. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since I rehoused my Cobalt Blue named Shelob. Like here is the previous tank that you can see, and this is the new one. This is actually a fish tank because tarantula tanks is insanely expensive in South Africa. And it's quite horrible. So just update, when we put her in, she was usually like walking around in the corners or just sitting in the corners. She wasn't used to the substrate yet, and when we checked on her, we couldn't find her. So we lifted up the skull. She wasn't underneath this skull. Turns out she was actually like inside the skull. It's crazy. Like at the back of the skull, there's like a little hole. This is actually a real skull. My boyfriend's dog dug it up and he cleaned it a lot, but he got it a couple of years ago, so he's been cleaning it ever since. And when I told him, nah, I want to put a skull in my tarantula cage, he's just like, okay, I'll clean it some more. So it's pretty clean, pretty awesome. So I'm just gonna move the tank a bit forward. She's actually outside of the skull now. She's not in the skull anymore. So I'm just gonna move the tank like that so I can kind of show you what's going on. I'm just gonna take the top off. I did check on her earlier to make sure, like to check actually if she's in the skull or not. Turns out she's not. It's pretty cool. She hasn't been hungry, that's why her crickets are just roaming around. So I'm just gonna lift the skull up to show you where she is. And there's some webbing underneath here. So she's actually right there, that little blob. So I'm gonna turn the tank around and kind of zoom you in on it. She's pretty small. She's like 2 years old now, so she is really small. There she is, little tiny button. So I'm just gonna see if if I put my hand there for the shadow, you can like just imagine how small she actually is. So she's still small, but it looks like she's doing fine. She's actually making her new hole. See, that's why we put a lot of substrate in, so she can make burrows and have some fun. That's one of the reasons why the skull is in there as well. So it's been pretty good with her. She's happy. She looks happy. I just have to like figure out what else am I gonna put in the tank, because it looks like a bit plain. So I'm still deciding if I'm gonna get plants, what type of plants, fake plants. I actually want to find out if I can put live plants in, if that is safe, which it should probably be. I just have to find out which plants. But for now, it's quite good. She's doing fine. I think she's happy. I hope she's happy. But I'm just happy to see that she's out of the skull. I want to pick this up for you. Where's the other cricket now? Anyway. Let me just zoom you in on that. This is actually the back of the skull. Since it is a real dog skull, this hole here, that's where she got in. So she was sitting here in the back of the skull, so couldn't see anything. I just saw some form of movement. She was, the first time she was in the nose, not that there's a lot of space, but there is some space. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna put this back, zoom in on that. So I'm gonna just put this back lightly, just make sure I'm not going to squash her. Okay, so that's happy go lucky. So yeah, that's the update. She's doing fine. My sling is also doing fine. But next time I'll make an update video on the sling. Maybe a pre-molt video if I can catch that, or a molting video even. If I can catch that, pretty awesome. I also have a short video of where Shelob made her hole. It's like a minute, almost 2 minutes, where she made a hole in her smaller cage. Pretty interesting, high focused, so you will be able to see how they do it. So I'll just upload that as well, and maybe you can check it out. Hope you have an awesome day. See you next time.